Welcome to Palos Verdes, California. This is one of the most expensive places in Southern California and a place that buys a lot of Range Rovers. Now we're here with the all-new 4th generation Land Rover Range Rover. Now when Land Rover decided back in 1970 to introduce the Range Rover nameplate, they wanted to go upscale. Some would argue if it was Mercedes or if it was Land Rover that introduced the first luxury SUV, but I could tell you this much, today this brand is synonymous with luxury. What would a luxury car be without styling and the Range Rover is oozing with it? Now, some things may appear just to be aesthetic to you, but they actually have a purpose. For example, you see this angle here, this sharp angle, that's designed so that when you're leaving your off-road area, you're not going to get your rear bumper caught. They made the wheel wells even fuller with these tires and wheels, and what they've really done about this car to not only help the styling but also the performance is lighten it up. It's 700 pounds lighter than the outgoing model. The power to weight ratio for the all-new Range Rover has been dramatically improved. Now you still have the same base engines, a 5-liter V8 producing 375 horsepower or a 5-liter V8 with a supercharger, which is what we have here, with 510 horsepower. Imagine all that power on a vehicle that's now just a little bit heavier than a 3 Series. Most people that can afford a 6-figure SUV don't really care about fuel economy, but nevertheless, here are the numbers. 13 city, 19 highway for the supercharged model. Now that may not sound great to you, but considering what this car does, its off-road premise, and that it's a Range Rover, those are pretty impressive numbers. The Range Rover's interior has been completely redesigned. The idea was to give it a cleaner look, a simpler look, and maintain its sophistication. Now I know you look inside and say, Ron, it looks like ordinary wood and leather to me, but this leather is actually low carbon leather, and the wood is made from sustainable materials. So Range Rover really has this connection with the outdoors because it's an outdoor 4x4, and they've carried that throughout the theme of the all-new Range Rover. A couple things to point out inside. First of all, you have an 8-speed automatic transmission that is superb, especially in sport mode. Now you have the advanced terrain response system that is really second to none. It's, with the air suspension and all the different settings, this thing is very capable, as you can see from our off-roading video. You also have the option to get what may be the best sound system in the world. This is a 1700 watt, 29 speaker Meridian sound system, and it sounds like a symphony in here when it's blaring. There are 4 trim levels for the all-new Range Rover. The base model starts at $83,500, the HSE at $88,600. Move up to the supercharged, that starts at $100,000. Then of course you have the autobiography starting at $131,000, featuring executive seating, which means seating for 4 instead of 5. The Range Rover actually makes a great sound, especially with the supercharger. This thing has been a blast. Going up hills, it's got a ton of power, and it's very smooth. What I didn't really like was the steering. The steering was good, except I noticed at highway speeds, about 70, 80, it just felt like there was a little bit of play in it. It could be something to do with the tires or maybe just the way our test vehicle was equipped. But overall, it's just been a blast. It's been a blast to see all the people's heads turning as you're pulling up in this very impressive machine. It's amazing how many people, both men and women, aspire to this brand. This brand has been just synonymous with luxury, off-road and on-road performance, and just having that presence, that cachet, which is what luxury buyers want. Overall, this is a very easy vehicle to recommend. When you look at the competitive vehicles, you have vehicles like the Lexus LX, Cadillac Escalade, Infiniti QX, and maybe Audi Q7 in there. But of course, you can even add the Porsche Cayenne in there. But I think the Range Rover really stands apart because unlike other brands, and this is what they make. They make off-road vehicles, and with Range Rover, they make off-road luxury vehicles. While most first owners are not going to take their Range Rover off-road, it's nice to know that you could if you wanted. Angle of approach is a very interesting number. It's something you should look at if you will take your vehicle off-roading. For the Range Rover, it's 34.5 degrees. That's huge. And you have up to 12.2 inches of ground clearance. We used every bit of that in Utah, and I encourage you, take your Range Rover off-roading. You will not be disappointed.